You ever just like see that mug of coffee left sitting?
Oh, yeah, totally. I do that all the time.
And it's like ice cold and you're like, oh, man.
Yeah.
I really wanted to enjoy that.
Not the worst.
Yeah. And it got me thinking, like, what else do we do that with?
Like, what else do we just kind of leave until it's too late?
Exactly. And I was thinking about relationships specifically.
Interesting.
Because we think about, when love fades, we think about big fights and like blowout arguments. But what about just like the little things?
The slow burn.
Yes. Like you just slowly drift apart.
It's like that coffee going cold.
Yes. And that's what we're going to deep dive into today. Like how love fades, not with a bang, but a whimper.
Right. And importantly, what can we do about it?
Absolutely.
And this isn't just romantic relationships, right? This is like anything where you really need to be present.
Exactly. Like really good friends, even family.
Yeah, for sure.
So when you think about like any important relationship, think about the beginning.
Oh, yeah, the honeymoon phase.
Totally. You're super aware of the other person, right?
Like you hang on their every word.
Totally. And like, remember like sending those cute little texts?
Oh, yeah, or like a million heart emojis.
Yes. And even little physical things like holding hands.
Wow.
Or just like a quick hug or something.
Yeah, and you just want to be close to them all the time.
Right. And you're so in tune with them.
And our brains are actually wired that way, right? Like we pay more attention to new and exciting things.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. And like as relationships get more settled, it's not that we love them any less. It's that our brains just start paying as much attention.
Right. Like it's not new and shiny anymore.
Exactly. And that's where things can get tricky because the research we looked at shows that's when we stop putting in as much effort.
Oh, I see.
Like those little things we were just talking about, we stopped doing them as much.
Like maybe we don't send as many cute texts.
Right. Or instead of like sneaking a kiss, it's like, hey, did you pay the electric bill?
Oh, so true. It's all logistics.
Yeah. Like the fun stuff gets replaced with just managing life.
Yeah. And even like, how was your day becomes routine, not like you really care.
Exactly. It's not coming from a place of genuine curiosity anymore.
And what about time spent together? Like instead of really talking, you're both just on your phones.
Yeah. Parallel play.
Totally. But not really connecting, right?
Not really, no. And even like saying I love you can become routine.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. At first, it's like this big meaningful thing. And then over time, it's just like something you say.
Like out of habit.
Almost like brushing your teeth or something.
Wow. And the crazy thing is, this isn't about some big fight.
Right. It's not like one event that causes the rift.
It's just like death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Perfect analogy. Just this slow buildup of missed connections.
Like that coffee slowly getting cold.
Exactly. And then one day you wake up and realize things are different.
And that can be a scary realization, right?
Can be, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the research shows people start to feel like they're just roommates.
Living next to each other, but not with each other.
That's a great way to put it. And actually saying something can be really hard.
Especially when there isn't a big fight to point to.
Right. It's just like this feeling, this like low-level unease.
And you might not even know how to bring it up.
Yeah. And the research really highlighted how much fear there is around this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because silence can be toxic for a relationship.
Oh, I see.
It's like this breeding ground for assumptions and resentment.
And it just gets worse and worse, like a tiny leak that sinks a ship.
Exactly. But the research also talked about how powerful it can be to actually say something.
To break the silence.
Yes. And there was this really sweet example. One partner brought home the other's favorite cheesecake.
Ah.
Yeah. And it wasn't like some big grand gesture, but it meant a lot.
Like, hey, I'm listening.
Exactly. I hear you. And that opened the door to a real conversation.
Not just about chores or whatever.
No, like a real heart-to-heart.
That's so great.
Yeah, they talked about their past, like how they met funny memories, even old fights.
Wow. Like they were choosing to reconnect.
Yeah, by remembering what brought them together in the first place.
I love that. So are you saying we need to pay more attention to the little things?
Absolutely. Because love really is about those small moments.
Like what kinds of things?
Like really saying goodnight. Not just like a grunt as you roll over.
Oh, yeah. Or remembering how someone likes their coffee.
Right. Or just reaching for their hand when you're walking together.
Just those little signs that you're present and you care.
Exactly. And these little things show up consistently. Not just on Valentine's Day or whatever.
So it's not about the big romantic gestures.
Those are nice, but it's the everyday stuff that really matters.
Like showing up day after day.
And one of the researchers said it so well. Love needs dedicated time. Your best time. Not just your leftover time.
Wow, that's so powerful.
Right. Because giving someone your leftover time can feel like an afterthought.
But giving them your best time shows they're a priority.
Exactly. Like you're choosing to invest in the relationship.
And it's not always serious stuff either, right?
Totally. One researcher talked about the naughty, silly, beautiful love.
Oh, I love that.
Like that playful side of being with someone.
Like what? Give me an example.
Like teasing each other.
Huh?
Or dancing around the kitchen like goofballs.
Or stealing fries off their plate.
Exactly. And it's all about affection and feeling comfortable.
And like all those weird little things you do, like one person hogs the blankets.
And the other one pretends to be annoyed but secretly loves it.
Oh, that's so cute. And the researcher also said that sometimes just being quiet together is connection too.
Oh yeah, like you're so comfortable you don't even need to talk.
But what happens when those moments start to fade away?
When we stop paying attention to the little things,
Yeah.
well, that's when things start to unravel.
Like the boat slowly coming untied from the dock.
Exactly. And that half-finished coffee image, it becomes really powerful.
Like all those little moments we started but didn't finish.
All those missed connections.
And the research showed that when people make an effort to reconnect, it doesn't just help their relationship.
It actually makes them happier overall.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They said they felt lighter, they slept better,
Wow.
they smiled more, and even their stress levels went down.
It's amazing how connected everything is.
It really is.
Yeah.
Like our happiness isn't just about success or money.
It's about having strong relationships, too.
Absolutely. And that brings us to the big takeaway for today.
What can we do about all this?
It's simple, but not easy. Love is a choice.
Oh, I like that.
It's something we have to actively participate in.
Then let's choose it every day.
Exactly. So I want you to think about your own relationships.
Romantic ones, friendships, all of them.
And ask yourself, where's the unfinished coffee?
What are you not paying attention to?
And what one little thing can you do differently today?
Like really being present when you drink your coffee.
Or putting your phone down and really listening to someone.
Or offering a hug or just a touch on the arm.
All these tiny things can make a huge difference.
So remember, love usually doesn't end with a big dramatic event.
It fades away in those little moments when we aren't paying attention.
And one researcher asked this really great question. What else in your life have you left unfinished?
Wow. That's a good one.
It makes you think about all the areas where we could be more present.
So I want you to really consider that. What one small but meaningful thing have you been overlooking?
What could you change today?
And if this episode has resonated with you, tell someone about it.
Because sometimes just talking about these things can make a big difference.
It can be the first step to building stronger connections.
And as always, let's finish our coffee while it's still warm.
Take care of your heart.
And take care of each other.